Most real estate investors are missing this principle. So as we get into the wealth principle 5, we're actually going to solve one of the biggest problems that they have, which is an inconsistent income, a lack of credibility, operational chaos, and limited growth. A lot of real estate investors are not growing at the rate that they should be, and they know that, which is probably why they're either on this call or on other calls, and then missed exit opportunities. Most real estate investors who have been super successful have caught their exit opportunities, but a lot of people right now are missing the exit. So we're going to talk about how to fix that and solve that problem. That being said, welcome back, alchemists. This is wealth principle number 4, build a business. We're on this journey, these 52 wealth principles. In fact, show of hands if you've been in this journey with us for more than 1 year. This is more than your first season. Excellent, excellent. 2 seasons. Show of hands if you got 2 seasons under your belt. Excellent. Where are OGs? This is your 5th season of the 52 Weeks to Wealth. Let's give them a big round of applause. The OGs, the people who've been with this mission for a very long time. What is the 52 Weeks to Wealth if this is your first time here? Our job is to double your income and double your net worth. It's a goal that we set every single year. If you started making $50,000 a year, your goal will be to make $100,000 by the end of the year. If you started the year making $100,000, your goal would make $250,000. Now, the reason we do that is because we are champions. We are challenge-based, focused people, and we also want to help a lot of people. There's a mission that we all agreed to when we signed up that was build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. Show of hands if you're still committed to helping others become successful. Excellent. So let's give all of our millionaires a big round of applause, the ones who've already done it. Thank you for your commitment to helping others and staying in this mission and paying it forward. For those of you who it's your first year, welcome. Congratulations. The journey is a blast. If you've been here since Wealth Principle 1, then you know Wealth Principle 1 is think a million. We got to think at that level. The second principle was to choose a business that can make $1 million. Third principle became the 4 types of money, learning how to invest properly using the 4 types of money that come through. The 5th principle, which we just did, was put all your eggs in one basket, and a whole bunch of financial planners just totally logged off. They didn't understand because they're all about diversification. This wealth principle 5, build a business, is a principle that most people think they've done and they absolutely have not. Your real estate business is not a real estate investment. A lot of people call real estate an investment, and they're actually wrong. Most people who are in real estate are not actually investors. They're actually business owners. When you acquire a piece of real estate, you're actually acquiring a business that requires management. Show of hands if you've heard of property managers. Yes. We happen to have a business that requires management, not an investment. An investment doesn't require management. An investment requires capital. So I want to be very clear the difference between an investment and business before we dive into this. And if you know the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, the purple book, show of hands if you've seen this or read this book before. Excellent. In this book, he talks about something called the cash flow quadrant. Show of hands if you know what the cash flow quadrant is. On one side, you've got the little bitches, right? The people who hate their lives, the people who are employees or self-employed. Show of hands if you've been one of them before. Show of hands if you're still one of them. It happens, right? We all have to start somewhere. We can't all, every master was once a disaster. We can't all start off just rich or with daddy and mommy's money. If you did have daddy and mommy's money and you're still on this call, you are a badass. Thank you for paying it forward, and thank you for being a part of the mission. That being said, eventually we shift over to the other side, right? Self-employed gets you over to the business side, the business quadrant, and that eventually gets you down to the investment quadrant. Now, true investors are the bank. The truest investor is someone who just puts money in, money comes back. They put money in and money comes back. Business, on the other hand, is you buy or purchase or build something that requires management, that requires human beings to keep it afloat, keep it going. And if you're one of the people who owns that business and you're one of the people who has impact on whether it makes money or not, you're a business owner. If you're not, if your words or your thoughts have no impact on the investment, you're an investor. Show of hands if that makes sense. If you're a limited partner, you're an investor. If you're a GP, you're a business owner. Show of hands if you'd like to be on the GP side, you'd like to be the business owner. Excellent. Awesome. Very cool. One of the things that doesn't happen often is most real estate investors actually never become business owners. Most real estate investors are actually self-employed. Most real estate investors are actually the one in the business making sure that the business is running properly. A lot of business owners, a lot of real estate investors are actually not much more than a property manager. Who here has met a landlord who manages themselves? Does it all themselves. But they'll call themselves investors, which is not true. They have an investment, which is a building, but most of their effort is actually spent in the operations side of the business. So inconsistent income without a structured business plan, without a structured business, your income in real estate can be inconsistent and unpredictable, leading to financial instability and stress. Has anybody ever had pain in the back of their neck, like pain in the shoulder blades area? That's a sign that you're stressed. It's usually a sign of stress with money. Has anybody ever had itchy hands or seen somebody like with itchy hands? It's a sign that money is not right. It's like, I got an issue here, a little itchy, a little pain in my neck. We're going to solve that problem today, or at least we're going to talk about the solution. One thing that we do every time that we're on this call is we create action steps. So we're going to go through the action steps in a little bit. We're also going to do the book of the week. We're going to explain how you can get into a deeper understanding of this. Second one is lack of credibility. A lot of investors may struggle to gain trust and credibility in the industry itself with lenders, with sellers, making it challenging to attract partners, clients, people who will be tenants of theirs, people who will give them money, lend with them. Show of hands if you'd like to solve that problem today. Like to solve the lack of credibility. Excellent. All right, cool. Operational chaos. I know Roland's a property manager, so he knows all about this. Operational chaos is a lack of business structure. It can result in operational frustrations, the stress in the back of your neck, making it difficult to manage your property's transactions, or investors who have the opportunity for you to do lucrative deals. Show of hands if you're tired of operational chaos. You'd like to eliminate that today. Excellent. If you don't have operational chaos, it's probably because you just don't have enough property or you don't have any property. So we want to get you to some operational chaos. But before we get you there, we need that credibility so that people will lend to you, people will sell to you. Who here has gotten a property offer not accepted? Anybody submit an offer and didn't get accepted? Yeah, well, you all should. Everybody should go submit an offer so you can say yes next week. So in our mentorship, we talk about it every week. How many offers have you submitted? How many offers have you submitted? Show of hands if you're in the mastery program and you submitted offers because we told you to. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody in mastery should be submitting offers every single week. It's part of our KPIs. It's a leading KPI. You submit offers, you might close. Number 4, limited growth. Investors who do not build a business structure, do not build a business plan, may find it challenging to scale their operations or take on larger, more profitable projects because they find themselves so interdependent with the business. They find themselves locked into the operations. So today we're going to talk about how to build a business in such a way that it pulls you out of those operations. Number 5, missed opportunities, missed exit opportunities. Without a business to sell, investors have missed opportunities and missed exit strategies with the potential to get out of the business and increase their financial rewards and substantial gains. Show of hands if you understand every business is built to sell. If you don't, it's wealth principle 33. We'll talk about it in a few weeks. You build your business to sell your business and profit. You do not build your business just for cash flow. You build your business so you can become an investor. You sell your business so you can become an investor. Investors put their money into other people's businesses and let that person run the business for them. Show of hands if you understand that is the process, even if it's not comfortable at first. A lot of hard workers are focused on just, I own the business and I'm always going to have to work and it's going to pay me cash flow. Ultimately, the goal is to sell. Some of the results of a successful real estate business are consistent deal flow. Well-established real estate businesses generate a steady stream of leads and deals. Investors can expect more predictable flow of income and opportunities when you have a business. If you don't feel your flow of deals is consistent, that's a sign of not having a business right now. That's a sign of having something that wasn't systemized or built, which if that's true for you, write that down. If you don't have enough leads coming in, if the leads are up or down, that's a sign that your business isn't operating properly. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and we'll create an opportunity to solve some of that. Number 2, enhanced credibility. Building a reputable business in the real estate industry boosts credibility and trust among clients, among contractors, among property managers, among your passive investors, and among people who can actually sell to you. This can lead to more significant deals and partnerships. The better ones, the ones with more meat on the bone, come from other people talking about you. Show of hands if you have already seen that. You've heard other people's stories, seen other people do this. You're like, oh man, that person always gets the good deals because of their credibility, because of their status, because of how other people perceive them in the marketplace. Number 3 is increased efficiency. An organized business structure allows for streamlined operations and better resource allocation. Investors can expect increased efficiency in managing properties and transactions when they operate like a business instead of operating like an investor. Show of hands if you understand increased efficiency means more money in the bank. Yes, I see Derek's wife, Maggie, is like, I like more money in the bank. That's very good. That's a good goal. Number 4, scalability. This is for all of you crazies who want to have 100 units, want to have 200 units, 1,000 units, 10,000 units. A successful real estate business is scalable. This is another sign that you've got a business. It is scalable. Investors can expand their portfolio and enter into new markets and take on larger projects with confidence. If currently the thought of investing out of state or investing in a different market scares you, it's because you haven't built a business. Show of hands if we understand. Scalability is a sign of a business. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. And number 5, exit strategies. Building a business opens up various exit strategies, including selling the business itself. Investors can realize significant financial gains when selling a successful real estate business. It also allows you to rent out pieces of the business, sell fractions of the business. It allows you to have the borrowing opportunity against the business. When you run a really good, clean business, you don't no longer have to sell things. You can actually borrow against them. One of the things you hear about the rich is Elon Musk borrows against his shares of Tesla so he doesn't pay any taxes. Show of hands if you've heard of these strategies before. When you have a business, the bank acknowledges it and you can borrow against it. Awesome. Excellent. Now that I got you sold, when I started investing in real estate, I thought that I was an investor. I really did. If you have ever read the book Broke to $250,000, the point is not to work, it's to generate income. That was my awareness as I was going through the years. Over that 2 years of that book being written in 2015, I was actually discovering that I was operating as a self-employed person. It wasn't until I realized that I couldn't sell my business, that nobody wanted it because I was actually operating a job. I was a real estate agent. I had 25 agents and I kept being like, okay, like I'm going to sell this business, this real estate business. And the reason I couldn't sell was a number of factors. One of them, I didn't have consistent leads, right? Like I was the one who had to go out and generate the leads. If I wasn't operating, if I wasn't working, if I wasn't creating content, if I wasn't at people's events, if I wasn't doing the networking that I was doing, then the leads weren't coming in. And that created a problem for me to sell the business. No mortgage broker wants to buy a business that they have to go out and do all the content creation. No real estate attorney, closing attorney wants to buy a business where they have to go out and do all the lead generation. And I'll tell you what, no real estate broker, my direct competitors at the time, were going to buy my business because they just felt like they could just recruit my agents. All they had to do is offer a little bit more of a commission and recruit my agents. Show of hands if you understand, if I stopped generating leads, my agents left me. So my business was very much based on my ability to generate leads. So as a business owner, that is one of the most important components that you can actually develop is a automated lead flow system, a marketing system that automates the process. Because what people are actually buying is your actual database. They're buying the fact that you either have subscription, like a person's going to keep coming in and paying you over and over, or the fact that your database constantly generates more business for them, that those people create referrals, those people send you business back. Show of hands if you would buy a business that generates income all the time. There's cash flow. There's constant cash flow. That's what a real estate property can be when it's not vacant. So who here has seen rental properties go for more because the rents are higher? There's more rents, there's no vacancies, right? Cash flow goes up. Your business, when it's running operationally like at its peak, is a business that is bringing in maximum cash flow, full tenants, no vacancy, and the rents are at their absolute highest. So in order to get there, we have to set the goal. Who here is ready to do some action steps, or at least identify what the action steps will be, and we'll have Doug create an action mindset for us? Hands? Okay, very cool. First one is a business plan. You have to identify what your goal is with this business. What would you like it to look like when you're done? A good, strong business plan is something that is actually achievable. So we want to make sure that it's within your skill set or a skill set you're willing to acquire. Now, all skill sets are something you're willing to do. So sometimes you have to hire out. So it has to be within the skill sets you're willing to hire or acquire. Show of hands if we understand, you can hire or acquire all skills. Nothing on the planet is impossible. Start by developing a comprehensive business plan that outlines your goals. Write these down: your goals, your target market, your marketing strategies, and your financial projections. You may need a spreadsheet to get some of this done. If you're at the 100 Millionaire Summit, we built a business plan together. If you have the workbook from the 100 Millionaire Summit, you still have the instructions for building a solid business plan. Show of hands if you were at the summit this year and you have the workbook. Excellent. Awesome. Well, you're all set. Show of hands if you were not at the summit and now you're super jealous. You got this FOMO. Awesome. Yeah, I hear you. All right. So again, when you're building your business plan, it doesn't have to take very long. This should take you no more than 4 hours. Do it with your spouse, do it with your friend, or you can do it very quickly just by taking some guesses. Set a business goal, decide your market, and don't shift out of your market. You could join a mentorship group or a mastermind. You can get into Names on Deeds for free. Go to Alchemist Nation, go to Names on Deeds, and it will show you how to evaluate your market, your location, your strategy, which is essentially your business plan. And then your financial projections. How much would you like this thing to make? If you'd like it to make you $10,000 passive income, by the way, show hands if that's a good goal. 10,000 passive income. Okay. All right. All right. Most people do agree. I've interviewed over 400 future millionaires through the mentorship program, and everybody except for 1% said 20,000 a month, and then the other percentage said $1 million a month. So I have these two people who are just like, I want to make $1 million a month. I was like, okay, fuck, how much you making right now? I'm making $4,000 a month. It's like, all right, let's start with 10,000, shall we? Let's start with where you're at and where you'd like to go. So $10,000 seems to be the number that most people say. And from that point forward, if you average out $100 per unit cash flow, which is the industry standard all across the country, $100 a door for cash flow, then you only need to have 100 doors. Now that's per acquisition within year one. What does seem to happen over time is that a door could probably get you to $200 a door if rents go up and your expenses come down, or your mortgage decreases. You find a way to get it to the point where you're now earning $200 a door. I know some investors who earn $300 a door. I know some investors who earn $500 a door. You have to know your market. You have to know what you're capable of doing, and you look at your timeline of what's actually realistic for you. But I will tell you that if you need to get to 100 units, it is possible. If you need to get to 50 units, it's possible, especially if you do it over 5 years. Show of hands if you understand you can do anything over 5 years. That's right. So set a 5-year business plan. It's a very good place to start. Number 2, build a strong brand. A strong brand starts with the first relationship that you talk about your business, which is you. Your strong brand starts with your belief system. It starts with how you feel about your company. In the Recession Proof Challenge, day 2, mission 2, we actually talk about your brand. Show of hands if you're in the RPC and you already went through day 2 of me this week. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. We talked about our brand. We talked about our message. We talked about how to be perceived. Very quickly, invest in your branding of your real estate business. Develop a professional logo. This is terrible. I shouldn't even be saying this. A logo, a website, and marketing materials that convey trust and credibility. Also, your Facebook page should have all of those on it, because most people are going to go to your Facebook page. Your website needs to be a lead capture form. It needs to be something that gets their contact information. For my page, it's I Build Millionaires. A person goes there. In order to get this link to show up on this call, they have to put in their name, number, and email address. And they have to click a little checkbox that says, can I text you to let you know about future events? Show of hands if you all clicked that button. Yes, now I've captured the relationship. Your website should do the same thing. Your brand should make a person feel confident with you. They should make them feel comfortable doing business. A great brand is I Buy Houses. Another great brand is I help seniors close with cash. I help people retire. I retire successful real estate investors. Retiring successful real estate investors is a very important niche to me, because I like to acquire portfolios. I don't like to buy the one little house. I like to buy a whole bunch of things. So your brand is very important. Develop it, start it here, and then start talking to one person at a time. One person at a time to test out your brand, see how it works. Get in front of the right people. Don't get in front of your family. Your family doesn't buy from you. Your family doesn't sell to you. Your family typically doesn't invest with you. You got to take your brand to somebody who is in need of the problem. Show of hands if you know there's people in need of what you do. You have a good product. You have a good service. Okay. Number 3, networking and building relationships. Actively networking within the real estate industry. This is, by the way, a people business. This is not like all other businesses that don't involve people. Wait, all businesses involve people, don't they? Show of hands if all businesses involve people. If all the money you want is in the hands of other people, all the money you want is in the hands of other people. True or true? Okay, all right. Not the money you have, not the money you're grateful for. The money you want is in the hands of other people. We got it. Awesome. So all businesses are networking business, but especially real estate. Real estate is all about relationships. So actively networking within the real estate industry via events, via charities, via local real estate associations, networking events like the Multifamily Network, the Real Estate Investor Association, the Business Real Estate Professionals Network, and Multifamily Investors Network. These are all events that we actually run in Alchemist Nation, and we have them across the country. Being there present is important. Volunteering is even better. Sponsoring is even better. The more closer to the stage you are, the more eyeballs you have on you, the more opportunities you're going to have. Show of hands if we understand the process of attracting attention. Excellent. So the more people know about you, the more they can flow you. If they don't know you, they can't cash flow you. If they do know you, there's a chance that they could flow you. So build relationships. Building relationships can lead to valuable partnerships and deal opportunities. Anytime I ever think about our business, I think about Alchemist Nation. Sometimes I'm like, that's just my charity. That's just like the community. That's just like me paying it forward and giving back. And then sometimes when I'm doing deals and I'm looking to raise capital, the first thing I do is like, hey, who in the community might have a deal? Hey, who in the community might have some capital they need to go work right now? And I realized that the community, the relationships are actually a major part of the business. They're my actual marketing strategy. It's actually how I connect with new human beings to do business with. Show of hands if you understand your relationships may feel like work sometimes. And they may feel like fun sometimes. The events are fun sometimes too. When I'm there, when I'm not there, they feel like work. But when I do show up, I love them. Who here has found that with networking? It feels like work before you get there. The whole car ride, right? The whole car ride's like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? But then you get there and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I showed up. Like, oh man, I can't believe I got that deal. I can't believe I met that new lender. I can't believe I met that new realtor, that wholesaler, that person just brought me something. That I can't believe that person has $700,000 sitting in their bank account and they're just waiting for me to go and do this deal for them. This is insane. Woo! I'm glad I showed up. Show fans, you've had the I'm glad I showed up moments. Awesome. So number 3 is your business plan must include networking and building relationships. Number 4 in your business, implementing efficient systems. I know most of you are really great salespeople. That's why you're attracted to this message. You're high development people. You're always looking to grow. You're always looking to improve. One of the challenges of people who are really great with other people, who are good at sales, good at negotiations, good at persuasion or getting people's attention, is that systems don't come naturally. We all know they're important, but they're kind of boring and tedious, and they don't feel like money. Show of hands if you ever felt that way with a CRM or with a website or any kind of documents. Oh, you need me to write a document on how to fill out a document? What the fuck? Like, just fill out the document. If you've ever experienced that, that could be a component that's actually holding you back. Even though you're very good at making money and you're like, why should I have to do these tasks? Well, in order to scale you out, somebody's going to have to do these tasks, and you're going to have to transfer that knowledge into the soul of somebody else. So streamline your business operations by implementing efficient systems and processes. Use property management software. Use CRM tools, customer relationship management tools. Use financial software to manage properties, transactions, and use client relationships software like texting or emails or reminders or task creation in order to make sure that that person, that relationship, gets to the closing table. One of the coolest things I've seen is automated texts that come out from my closing departments. They tell me that I'm X distance to the closing. Like, hey, we're getting closer, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. Little notification comes to me saying, by the way, so like, I feel like I'm closing on a deal. I feel like it's actually happening, because one of the biggest stresses we have as investors, like me as a consumer of a title company or a mortgage company, is I'm nervous that things aren't working, that the deal's going to fall apart. Show of hands if you ever felt that. So that little text of like, hey, we're at phase 2 makes me feel like, dude, there's a phase, there's a process. This is the first company I've ever worked with that actually has a process, and they're texting me about it. Thank God, So implementing software and automations that make the process feel more human for your clients means you no longer have to be the person picking up the call and letting everybody know everything's okay. So, Fantasy, when you were trained in sales, that was your job. When you trained in sales, they told you got to follow up with the customer, make sure they know everything's going through to close, right? Yes. No longer worry about that through implementing systems. So you have to take time to document what you do, then you implement, and then you automate. Invest in marketing. Number 5. It has to be number 5. It does have to be number 5, because if you don't have all the other systems put in place, you shouldn't spend any money on marketing. If you haven't developed a really good system and automations and scalability for yourself, you don't want to market, because it's going to involve more of your time. And that's not what a business is. Show of hands if you understand. You got to organize, then you get to collect. And first you organize, Then you market and drive it into your sales funnel so that you can then go through a process. But when you do finally get your company to the point where it is scalable and it is a business, allocate a portion of your budget to marketing efforts. I typically say about 20%. And I'm not the only one who says this. This came from other people. They say about 20% of your income should go back into your marketing. One of the reasons is a good marketing campaign should get you 4 to 5 times what you spent on it. A bad marketing campaign gets you 1-to-1. That means you spend money, you just made the same money. But a good marketing campaign, a great marketing campaign should get you 4 to 5 times X return on investment. You spend 20 grand, you should bring in 100,000. Show of hands if we understand the math. Excellent. A marketing strategy generates leads and raises awareness of your brand. A marketing strategy does not generate sales. So if you implement your marketing strategy before you've prepared your sales process or your sales team, then you'll just have a bunch of leads sitting in your database that cost you a whole lot of money that you aren't able to implement on. Show of hands if you don't want that problem. It's a good problem, but it's also a very expensive problem. Excellent. And the longer those leads sit in your database, the more dangerous the problem becomes because they might have forgotten about you or used somebody else. Has anybody ever shown up to a house that they said they weren't ready yet and somebody else sold it? Has anybody ever seen that happen? Man, as a realtor, I experienced that a lot. I'd be like, hey, just calling to see how everything's going. They're like, oh, yeah, dude, I sold it last month. Like, you sold it? Well, what'd you sell it for? Oh, I sold it to this investor. I sold it for 40,000. You sold it for half of the market value? You sold it to an investor? I would have bought that house. Why did you sell it? Oh man, they knocked on the door. They showed up, and then we just, everything we kind of hit it off. Show of hands if you understand, leads that sit in the database are deadly. It's bad. It's not good. So your digital marketing, your social media, your direct mail, your direct messaging, your ringless voicemail drops, your cold calling, all of those components need to lead to a sales conversation or conversion. And if they're not, you haven't earned the right to spend money on marketing. Show of hands if wealth principle 5, build a business, is a good idea. Excellent. We talked about it last week, why all the benefits of, tax benefits of owning a business. You're a real estate investor. This principle really is, don't just invest in real estate, build the real estate business. Invest in a business, build a business that you can walk away from. As with every principle, there is a book of the week. And we have this one gentleman who sat down with me. He sat down and looked at all 52 wealth principles. We spent 2 hours and we couldn't come up with all the books that belong to them. So we spent another 2 hours on another day and we assigned all the books that he and I had read. And we finally came up with the books that represented each principle to the highest level. And finally, this book is really special to us and special to most people because it's the one that brought you into financial freedom in the first place. So without further ado, Michael Shine is our holistic attorney. He's our closer. He's the keeper of the books. Let's give him a big round of applause. Mike, what is this week's book of the week?
Woohoo! Yay! This is the OG. I think I've said OG before, but this is actually the #1 book. If you ever talk to Walter, he said this is the first book that you should read. This is the first of the foundational 5. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which was always fun because for 5 years I'd listen to Walter mispronounce Mr. Kiyosaki's name. He was like Kawasaki or something like that.
I do recall this now. That's so true.
It's that and Jaworski are the two that I like to hear him mispronounce. But anyways, this book, from a personal level, absolutely changed my life. You all have to read this book because what it tells you is just what Walter's saying, that you're on the wrong side of the equation. That you are, if you're on as cash flow quadrant shows, you're either an employee or you're sole proprietor. You need to get on the side of owning businesses, which means you can't be in the business. You have to be able to, you got to be like Ray Kroc. You have to open like 5,000 outlets and not actually be making the Big Macs. So this book shows you that you want to aspire to get to owning businesses where other people are doing the work or investing in businesses. And it's all doable. And that's what the book is all about. It's got that name and you're sitting there going, what the heck does Rich Dad Poor Dad mean? But he had, and I actually still to this day don't know who's the rich dad in the story because his dad had a great career. He was I think he was like the governor of Hawaii at one point, or he was certainly way up in there. And he was also a professor and all this kind of stuff. And he told his son, Robert Kiyosaki, to go get a good education and get a good job and do all that kind of stuff. But meanwhile, his friend had this, bless you, his friend had this father who didn't seem like he had any education. I think it was sixth grade education, and nobody paid attention to this guy until he suddenly bought a hotel on the beach on the, I believe it's on the big island of Hawaii. And then suddenly people started taking notice. And what he was doing was he wasn't worried about the education and the job and just looking successful. He was actually going out and just snapping up property after property, and he crushed it. And so from that, Robert Kiyosaki walks you down the line, teaching you that it's not about getting a job that's going to give you golden handcuffs, that's going to lock you into a, they're going to give me a 5% raise next year, year after year, and you're stuck there. It's go out and start your own business, and real estate is the way to do it. And his friend's dad absolutely crushed it, taught him a ton of lessons. It's just, oh my God, it's the OG. It's the best book. If you have not read it, I know most of us have read it. It's always good to read it again. I think Walter reads it like once a year. I'm inspired to go back and read it again because it always has more and more lessons. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and go get it. It's a great book. That's my
Give
review.
Michael Shine a big round of applause. He's the keeper of the books, the closer, our holistic attorney. He's really made a lot of this possible for a lot of you. And over the last 5 years, he's been with us on just about every call, doing every principle, and done a lot of work with the community, helping people figure out how to close their deals. Definitely an amazing friend, and also very, very wise wealth builder himself. Invested in Tesla early, continues to invest in Tesla. Not financial advice. And done very well with it. So we do an action step every week. Before we dive into this week's action step, we have Doug do the action step. If you're afraid of meditation and using your subconscious mind to go and get things done for you, then now is a good time to log off. If you're afraid of results, if you're afraid of taking action, if you're afraid of going and actually buying real estate and doing things, then my suggestion is log off and never come back again. But if you're interested in opening your mind and expanding and getting to that next level, just kind of putting your subconscious mind to work, we're actually going to have Doug put a little music on and walk through an actual meditation to make sure that we go and take and implement our business the way we just discussed, a way that actually makes a business an actual business and not just self-employed, not just a job. Before I give Doug over the controls, I do have to tell you that Dorina asked me to let everybody know that today's call at 12 p.m. is how to buy real estate in 2024. We are going to talk about the market. I have Vinny Chopra coming in. I have Mitch Jorsky talking. And so he's going to be sharing, both of them are going to be sharing exactly how to invest in real estate in 2024. I'll close it up with what I believe will be the right locations, what the right investment strategies are, and where I think some of the challenges may be coming in the market. I will share my prediction. And I believe that by the time we're done, if you're not either terrified or excited, we've done something wrong. So at the end of the call, you should know exactly how to operate in 2024. If you are going to buy real estate, you're going to be very excited. If you are not going to buy real estate, you're going to be like, oh my God, real estate's the worst thing ever. It doesn't make any sense. But you will know the strategy to be successful in 2024. This is at 12 o'clock. If you don't have the link, you're wrong. If you're on this call, I sent you the link. It's in your email. You may have to go to your promotions or your spam, but it's in the email that says Wealth Principle 4. Wealth Principle 4, put all your eggs in one basket. And it's in the newsletter. So we send that newsletter out every single week. If you're not getting that newsletter inside your main email account, do yourself a favor and go and mark us as not spam. Show of hands if you know how to do that. You can do that in Google. You can do it in all the email accounts. Go find the email, scroll all the way to the bottom. At the very bottom is the link. It says how to buy real estate in 2024. And that is at 12 p.m. The other question I got is, how do I get access to that? Is this for anybody outside of the community? Yes, you can share that link with real estate investors, real estate agents, mortgage companies, people who you believe are on your team and should be helping you buy more real estate in 2024. Show of hands if you want to have a team of people doing this for you. Excellent. So now's your chance to go and grab that link and start sharing it out to people who you think would be beneficial. You'll have about an hour to do that. So from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, you have about an hour to think of people, invite people. I'll remind you again at the end of this call. But yes, we will be talking about how to invest in 2024. And we will be giving you some tips and some markets and some strategies that are definitely working right now and will continue to work, especially since we just closed on a bunch of properties. Vinny's closing on a bunch of properties. Mitch just closed on some properties. Mike Shine just closed on some properties. So we're going to be sharing what's actually working in this market. Doug, if you can, by the way, so Doug, if you don't know who he has been with Alchemy Station again since the very beginning, 5 years with us, helping clear out the garbage inside people's minds, helping them make decisions for themselves, not telling them the answers, but giving them the tools so that they can be resourceful and leverage the things that are already in their mind. He toured with Tony Robbins for 3 years as one of Tony Robbins' coaches. So he was actually coaching for Tony Robbins, helping other people clear out of getting their 6 human needs figured out and getting themselves to a happier place, the wealth management and all the wonderful things that Tony Robbins does. Doug was out there doing it with him, side by side, part of the mission. In fact, this is something that Doug tells us often, and it's really related to business, is when Doug left Tony gave him a really great piece of advice. He said, Doug, you're no longer a coach. Your coaching business is a marketing business. Your job is to go out and be known for helping people, to be seen as a resource, to be valuable, to go out and market. I may have ad-libbed some of that other stuff, but the first part was you're not a coach, you're a marketer. With that being said, let's give Doug McGurk a big round of applause. He's an excellent marketer. He's an excellent speaker, and he's a fantastic guide when it comes to helping people get to that next goal. So take it away, Doug.
Oh, thank you. Let's give Walter some love. Come on, right on. And oh, by the way, and yourselves for being here. You are investing your most valuable asset, your time. So you are all rock stars. Quick thing. I do know who Rich Dad is. I put it in the chat. It is Keith Cunningham. Keith Cunningham is Rich Dad. You can look him up. He speaks at Tony's Business Mastery every year. Brilliant guy. Definitely someone to follow and get some nuggets from him. He talks about things and stuff. He helps. He breaks down the business, the systems of a business in a really cool way. So like your P&L things and stuff. So yes, welcome, gang. Oh, by the way, I picked up another property in North Carolina as well.
Let's give Doug a round of applause. Another property lockdown.
There you go. So, all right, everybody, why don't you take a moment, shake it off, get all ready to go. And then now what I'd like you to do is take your body and tense up every muscle in your body. Tense them up, 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 and relax. That's it. Relax your body. Oops, relax your mind. And I wonder, right now you can close your eyes, unless you're driving. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. And with your eyes closed, take a nice, big, deep, cleansing breath in. Tense up your body some more. And relax. Relaxing your body. Relaxing your mind. And with each deep cleansing breath you take, feel yourself sinking even deeper into relaxation, letting go of the outside world. You're beginning to tap into your innermost potential, your deepest power as you connect even more to God. Now, imagine yourself walking through a tranquil forest. And with each step on the soft earth, the soft ground, you feel more connected to your inner entrepreneur. And the forest represents your mind's vast potential. teeming with opportunities and pathways to success. And in this forest, there's a clearing. There stands a grand marketplace, a place of exchange and connection, much like real estate markets. And here you will find a guide, an adept business builder who whispers secrets to success. Listen to the guide as he shares his wisdom. Trust in your ability to learn and adapt. You see, this guide once built a business from the ground up, a real estate empire. He knew when to hold and when to sell, understanding the rhythm of the market. He networked tirelessly, forming strategic alliances and creating a web of contacts, each more valuable than the last. His mantra was simple: connect, learn, and grow. And he tells you a story of a house, a metaphor for your business. And first, he laid a strong foundation, knowing that every structure must be built on something solid. Then, he built up from the ground, adding floors of expertise, windows of insight, and doors of opportunity. The house was admired by many. So when the time came, he sold it for a great fortune. Now, imagine you are that builder. You know your worth and understand your market. You find the right people, build connections, and take action every day. You grow your business with the intention to sell, to pass on the legacy to another while you move on to greater ventures. So relax into the knowledge that you can build something valuable. Focus on the key elements that add worth to your enterprise. See yourself, visualize yourself networking and making connections that matter. Feel the excitement as you take action, step by step, towards your goals. And believe in the journey of building something with the potential to sell. And as you connect even more to God, to your higher power, say these affirmations aloud or to yourself. I am building a valuable business ready for a prosperous sale. My network is expanding daily, bringing me closer to success. Action is the bedrock of my business's growth and eventual sale. I am an architect of opportunity, designing a legacy in real estate and beyond. And as this session comes to an end, feel, hear, and see these experiences and commands embedding deeply into your subconscious or other than conscious mind. Know that with each passing day, you are naturally implementing these strategies, growing your business, expanding your network, and of course, preparing for the future sale of your real estate business. And on the count of 5, you will return to full awareness, feeling refreshed and motivated. 1, feeling calm and confident. 2, your intentions are clear. 3, feeling the motivation to network and take action. 4, ready to apply these lessons. And 5, as you open your eyes, fully present, ready to build and sell your real estate business.
Man, that hit good. Show of hands if you're committed to your business, building a business, regardless of where it is today, you're moving in that right direction. Let's give Doug McGurk a big round of applause for all the work he does with our community, with creating these hypnosis tracks, these meditations for us. If you have not already gone to guidedhypnotic.com, Doug does have, I believe it's 13 or 15 real estate focused hypnosis tracks on the website. There is a paywall. That is because Doug knows that he needs to pay his bills. And if he doesn't create a paywall for people, then he won't be able to go back to his wife and say why he spent all those hours creating those meditations. Show of hands if you're saying he's got a wife and child that he's got to take care of. Also, it makes sure that you listen to them. If you don't pay the $1,000 for hypnosis tracks, you probably won't listen to the hypnosis tracks. Tell me how I know. There are plenty of them for free on YouTube. Go use those. If you can't afford the tracks, go to YouTube and find them there. Show of hands if that makes sense. Just know that the ones that you pay for are probably really designed for the people in this community. And I want to be very clear because I get told that it sounds like I'm selling stuff. I don't care what you pay for. I don't care what you spend your money on. All I care is about your success and your results. So if it's right for you, do it. If it's not right for you, do something else that is right for you. Show of hands if you get it. It's all options. They're your choices. That being said, there is a free webinar happening today, and I cautiously state the word free. It's not. We're going to request your time and your attention for 3 hours to teach you how to buy real estate in 2024. So if you're not a buyer of real estate in 2024, it won't be interesting to you. If you are a buyer in 2024, then it's in your email. And because I keep getting people texting me saying, I don't have it, it's not in my email, let me show you where it is. Well, this is the registration link. So I will just take this and drop it in the chat for you. So 1, it's now in your chat. So there you go. And 2, you go to your email and you go to your inbox, and it won't be in your primary inbox. It will be in your promotions section. And you'll have to scroll down past all these great people and look for the star on the left side that says Alchemist Nation. When you hit that star on the left side that says Alchemist Nation, you'll notice the subject line is Wealth Principle 4. And if you're ever looking for one of our emails in the future, you're probably going to want to type in the word Wealth Principle or Alchemist Nation. When you scroll all the way down, you're going to find at the very bottom, it says how to buy real estate in 2024. And then it says click here to register. That is where the link is. When you click there, it brings you to the Zoom registration page. Now you have access to the event. Now you can show up at 12 o'clock. This is the link you will want to share with a friend. Do not register and then share your link, because if you do that, they show up with your name, and then it's super awkward where they got to go and rename themselves on the call. Show of hands if you ever been in that situation. Somebody sent you the wrong link. Yep, not cool. I've got some other questions in the chat. The questions are, will a recording of the webinar be available for those of us who couldn't attend? Let me do it this way. I'll stream live on Facebook inside the Alchemist Nation Facebook group. Is that all right if I do it there? Is that valuable? Okay. I'll do it there. I don't know how long Facebook will allow us to do that because this is a 3-hour webinar. It should be fine. I know that it doesn't work on my phone because my phone dies after 2 hours of live streaming. So I think we're going to be okay doing it live this way. I want to open it up to questions because questions provide solutions. And without questions, then most investors stay about right where they are. If you don't have questions, it's because you haven't done enough mistakes. You haven't gone out and taken enough action. So this is your chance to unmute the mic. We've got a bunch of millionaires on the phone, a bunch of real estate investors on the phone. Now is your shot. Unmute. First to unmute wins. You don't have to put your hand up. You just unmute and you just start talking. So let's dive into
Are you going to wear Vinny out before he goes on my radio show?
Vinny did ask me not to do that. He said, don't wear me out before I go on to the Larry Steinhaus show.
Because he's going to be on my radio show today at 2 o'clock, and you have him for 3 hours before that.
Correct. So I have him at 1 o'clock. I'm actually taking him at 1. And so he's going to finish up with us and then jump right over to you.
Right.
Self-promotion Saturday with Larry Steinhaus.
How about that?
Let's go.
Well, that's okay with me anyway, but that wasn't the point.
Shit.
Don't forget to scan my QR code, Michael.
Good job, Mike. Call him out.
So the 52 weeks of wealth is not happening today, just to confirm.
What do you mean? 52 weeks of wealth just happened?
Not sorry, not 52 weeks. I mean RPC.
Recession Proof Challenge is Monday through Friday only. The mission today on Saturday and Sunday is to catch up on the previous missions throughout the week. So if you're in the RPC, the Recession Proof Challenge, your job is to make sure that you are caught up with your 10 contacts you're supposed to reach out to, the 4 you put in the database, because 1/3 of the people are going to hate you no matter what, 1/3 are not going to like you no matter what, and 1/3 are going to love you no matter what. So you want to make sure only 1/3 of that people you reach out to goes in your database. You are going to make a post on Facebook, one post at least on Facebook, because that's part of the challenge. And if you haven't already finished your book of the week, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People, then my strong suggestion is get that Audible on while you're driving around or doing your workouts. But for Roland, I know you're all caught up. So let's give Roland Charles a big round of applause. He's a killer. The other day, we're like, reach out to 10 people. He's like, yeah, I reached out to 200 today. I was like, how the hell did you do that? He said, well, I got a VA. I kind of cheated. Perfect. That's a business system for marketing. Fantastic. Go ahead. First unmute wins.
I unmuted first.
Oh, I am muted first. Mother.
It's a battle of the Musketeers. I was just going to add, because Walter mentioned Roland getting it done. And yeah, he's actually always getting it done. And he's going to continue to get it done. Those in the mentorship, we're talking about property management on Tuesday night. And Roland's going to jump in and set that on fire. I'm going to teach you the basics. And then he's going to give you, the in the weeds. This is what I do. So be excited for that, guys. You'll be able to ask any question you want about property management, and appreciate you joining us, Roland. It's going to be another good call. So taking action.
Mitch, since you just unmuted, you're running the Alchemist Nation podcast. What was the last episode you guys just released?
Andrew, did it come out yet?
We're releasing it Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning? Yes. Jeff Holst, which I'm not gonna lie, we are gonna have another one with him because we could have went for 2 hours easy. I think we ended up keeping it to a little under an hour. He claims to be the most interesting man alive, and he made a run at it. But yeah, owns about 250 units and has had quite the life, quite the story, quite the ups and downs. And the punchline to it all is sometimes when something really, really bad happens in life, it turns out to be the best thing that could have happened. And that is a big piece of his story. And you'll hear that when you listen to the podcast. So yeah, if you are not caught up on the other ones, jump on Alchemist Nation podcast. You can find it in all the places. And yeah, get caught up before Tuesday's new episode drops.
So I did get to meet Jeff Holst because of you. And he lives in Puerto Rico. He's not paying taxes wherever he lives, right?
He moved to Puerto Rico 2 years ago for one, to potentially invest in real estate, and two, for tax advantages and whatnot.
Yeah, the way he said it to me was like, yeah, the tax advantages, and I'm buying a bunch of stuff. And he's like, I got 250 units. Like, all right, man, I'll listen to you. You sound like a smart guy. Also, let's give Mitch Chorsky a round of applause. Go ahead, Mike. That's the Alchemist Nation podcast. If you haven't already gotten on, Mitch and Andrew are doing an amazing job. I think better than when I was running it because they're more interesting and there's two people and they kind of go back and forth. Andrew is super interested in the mindset stuff and Mitch is super interested in more of the technical of like, okay, but how did you do that? Like, what is actually going on behind the scenes? So it's really cool to have kind of both hosts on there. Go ahead, Mitch. Michael.
So I just as a joke, I was going to say I have a book called Fast Track to Millions, but because Larry's on it, but I just wanted to acknowledge maybe people take a step back and look at what's actually happening on this call. I mean, we have like Larry Steinhaus, Subject 2, Billy Reuter, Mindset, Doug McGurk, the meditation, Mitch Jaworski. I mean, and of course, Walter, Ken Ingram in there too. I mean, this is like stars. It's just, this is an amazing opportunity that Walter gives us. And I just wanted to acknowledge Walter and say what an amazing, like, this is just like a Saturday call and you get all that. That's mind blowing. So let's give Walter a round of applause.
Thank you, Mike. And thank you, everyone. It's really because of the amount of work that you're putting into your community, your local events, your local investment strategies, the people, your family, the work you're doing. I know that a lot of it is stressful. And so the conversations with you and the questions you ask and the fact that you show up is the reason I keep doing this. If you weren't here, I wouldn't be here either. I've said that to my property manager, I've said it to my tenants, and I'll say it to you as well, this community. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't show up. So let's give you a big round of applause. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for the results you're creating, good or bad. I'm okay with bad results too. That gives us something to talk about and something that we can learn from. There's no reason I've seen over the years people disappear for a little while and then they come back and they're like, man, I was just going through a really dark time. Like I lost the property or I messed this deal up and I was so embarrassed. I don't want to say something to you guys. That's probably the time to lean on us the most when things are going sideways, when things are not working, when the deal isn't working or you're not getting the money or you lost an opportunity. Call us, contact us, text is best, message us, get us in Alchemist Nation, the community chats, the forums, before the deal goes south, before things go bad. And there's usually a way for us to bring it back on track. There's usually some resource that we have access to. There's usually somebody within the community that we can reach out to who has the knowledge, the resource, the connections. So don't just be here when times are good or when you're just learning. Like also leverage us when times are bad, when things are not working, when it's scary, when you're not sure how you're going to get your shit done. When you're like in a position where you may not be able to pay investors, that's really, really when to lean on us. I know that I grew up very religious and they used to tell me like, don't pray to God when you need his help. Like I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, hey, reach out to us when you do need our help. Like it's kind of the best time for us. We're not God, right? We're human beings. We're designed to help people. Maybe don't ask God for help when you're struggling, right? You'll be thankful all the time, but you should do both. I think you should ask, God for help, but you should also ask your human beings who are here to serve, here to help, here to help you get to that next level. Show hands if you're committed to serving others. You're committed to helping people become wealthy. So, yeah, just know that this is a community for service. We are here to help. We are here to, even some of us, some people in this community don't have the money, but they will put in the work for you. Some people don't have the deal, but they will bring the money. Some people don't have the time or the deal, but they have the money to invest. So they'll do what they can. Just one, don't underestimate the community and what other people can do to help you. And two, don't underestimate what you're capable of doing. If you're not getting a deal locked down, maybe it's just because there's something up here. It could just be that. It could literally just be one little word you're missing in your negotiation. It could be the tonality of what you said in the moment that could be shifting it. It could be that you're not reaching enough people because your system isn't right? You may just be missing a CRM. It could be as simple as not having an account with a CRM and not having spent the hour to plug things in or upload a list. It could be that simple. In the RPC, the Recession Proof Challenge, I actually watched this happen this week. Andrew went and he plugged into Alchemist Connect. He put in 400 leads. And then he went and he clicked and he said, send a message to 20 leads at a time. And so now every day he's got 20 people getting messaged automatically without him having to do any work. All he has to do is respond back. Show of hands if you understand that one setup, that 1 hour it took him to do that, then prevented the failure that every single time he's come through the challenge, he has never done this one thing. He never did the reach out to 10 people every day for 21 days. So one little change, one little tweak could be all that you're missing in your business. So just a thought for everybody who is looking to come to the 12 o'clock call. Now is your time to get some food. Now is your time to recharge yourself, get your notebook ready, get your reach out to your team, reach out to your fellow investors, reach out to your agents, reach out to your wholesalers, your mortgage brokers, your family, your friends, anybody who you know you want on board with you who is considering buying real estate in 2024. They don't have to show up, but you should invite them. My suggestion is that you give them the opportunity to get the information direct into their brains versus your notes or your regurgitation of ideas and thoughts that may or may not be as accurate as they were, the context of the moment. Show of hands if you understand, it's better to consume the knowledge directly than secondhand. Things get lost. Mistakes are made in conveying the concepts. So please invite. And then if they don't show up, or they say they're too busy, please, if you care about them, give them a call and say, here are some of the reasons why you should. What I've found with coaching people over the years, even in my company or when I'm paid for it, is that telling a person they should do something is not good enough. Actually jumping on the call and saying, hey, let's do this together, helps a person actually take some action. It actually is usually what gets a person to a result. Show of hands if you've seen that in your own life. Absolutely. Which is why on the 52 Weeks to Wealth, we do the action steps together. It's important to take the actions in the moment at that time. So let's give each one of you a big round of applause. Let's give our coaches, our millionaires, a round of applause. Mike, Shine, Roland, Doug, Mitch, Patrick. We've got Ken, David, Michael, Andrew,
Don't forget
Victor.
Larry. Holy shit.
I'm about to get Larry.
Larry. Nobody wants to talk
Justin.
to me. I just keep self-promoting.
Yeah.
Billy, Eric,
you're the
Ron.
subject to man. You are the man.
Anybody who owns or
All
runs
creative
one of our
finance.
local community events, one of our sponsors, one of our volunteers, let's give each one of you a big round of applause. The change and impact you're creating in other people's lives is absolutely fantastic. So from the bottom of my heart, I could not do this without you, and I would not do this without you, but with you, it's a lot more fun. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. I always work with the best. I will see you at 12.
The best.
That was the icon, but the real star is the jacket.